Alright, so no project this week, as you can see. So a bit of a more vlogish video on what's going on. As you could see, the workshop was an absolute mess. One of the problems as someone who's putting out video content every week is that there's often not a lot of time in between to, clean up, do shop maintenance sort of stuff. Or at least I find that anyway. There are plenty of projects on the back burner, and there will be a project next week. Just this week was a bit of a write-off for a variety of reasons. As you might have seen, the garage door has fallen down. So we've got someone in on Monday to repair that. Currently I cannot receive goods, so I can't buy a sheet of plywood and get it in here. I want to get some plywood in to make a clamp cart slash plywood storage cart all in one. I've got both of those things at the moment, but they were made from scrap material or when I was very inexperienced. So I've got a much better design in my head, and I've started working on that in Fusion 360. So I'm happy with how that's progressing, and something that I will do sometime this week, just gone, or last week, I'm not sure. I got the mount for my CNC to put in a Makita router. Now Inventables don't actually sell a Makita router mount. So this is the DeWalt 611 mount, and someone on the Inventable forums has some 3D models for 3D printed spaces to allow you to use the Makita RT0700CX, I think it is, router, spindle router in that mount, which is great because in Australia the DeWalt routers that fit this are just crazy expensive. This is about half the price, and it's a great little trim router. So I've been playing with that, and that's been good. If we look at the two spindles, this is, well, obviously the Makita. This is the quiet cut spindle which came with the CNC. It's tiny, it's DC powered, I think it was like 300 watts, 250 watts or something, 24 volt, and it's crazy underpowered. Biggest offender is that tiny little axle there, or drive shaft, whatever you want to call it. All the load on that, it causes a lot of vibration. So hopefully the Makita will do a much better job, and in the small testing I've done, it does. That's kind of the reason I gave up on the XCarve last year. It was taking up a bit of space, and I had the queen bed build, the shotgun bed. I needed that out of here just because of sheer space. But I was having a lot of problems with vibration from the underpowered motor, or it just takes so long to cut anything. And getting bits for it was just a bit of a, well, no, it was an incredible hassle. This is a standard trim router, so it takes 1/4 inch bits. I've already got a stack of 1/4 inch bits. If I break a bit and I need something for a job, I don't have to order it online. I can go down to Bunnings and get admittedly a low quality bit, but still better than getting something off eBay, waiting 3 weeks for it to arrive and going, well, I needed that job done a few weeks ago. I've been playing with Fusion 360. In October, November, they added V-carving to Fusion 360's cam output, which is... So V-carving is where, well, you can use a V-bit and it cuts out the lines, or so you don't have to have, say, a 1/16 inch bit to get a really fine line. This will use the point of the V-bit, so you can get much finer detail. I don't know how well this is going to come up on camera. So total size for this text is about 10 mil high and about 45 mil across. So it's really tiny, and that plywood is not fantastic quality plywood. It's cheap though. And I went the wrong direction of the grain for the best outcome. But for a really quick test to make sure that the workflow for Fusion worked, fantastic. So I'll be doing some bigger tests. Let me know if there is interest in CNC stuff again. Sort of middling response last time around, but considerably smaller channel back then. Almost the last thing to talk about, I was going to build a thine baffle, but instead I opted to buy this Cyclone separator. This acts exactly like a bigger version of the Dust Deputy. You stick it between your pipe, hosing, ducting, whatever, that's the word, ducting, and your vacuum, or in this case a dust collector, and it separates stuff out. I'll do a few more episodes on dust collection. As I said last time, I wanted to build a room for here, and until I figured out what size fine baffle I was going to have, or in this case now Cyclone, I didn't know what I was doing, so I couldn't get the sizes right. So I will go into this a bit more another time, but so far it works pretty well. The quality is exactly what I'd expect from Hafco. There was significant percussive persuasion to get the round things to fit onto other round things because it was cheap and it was a Hafco branded thing. You get what you pay for. But I'd probably say upwards of 90% efficiency with separation. Most of the dust that's in there has actually come from the filter falling down into the bag. Still a lot of stuff into there. So that's nice to get in there. I think what I want to do is pull the dust collector apart, put the impeller on top, directly connect it to this with a 5-inch hose, and then I'll need some more 5-inch hose to get down to the separator. And these wire fittings really annoy me. I just want a straight connector, and that would allow a bit more flexibility. So I need to make a bracket up on the wall to hold up the motor, and then I'm going to make another bracket to hold up the Cyclone, and then a cam and a wedge or something to raise up the collection bucket so that I can then lower the collection bucket to clean that out. So the last thing that I'll talk about is Pushblock, gravity heeled Pushblock. So this is designed for jointer use, heel so you can push things along. The video and plans, or technical drawing, not sure exactly what I've done, is up on Patreon, and it'll be revealed for everybody else in, I think it's 3-4 weeks time it's scheduled. Or, as I said, it's up on Patreon, so head over there and you can see this early. Thanks for watching.